What's up, guys? It's Benny. Another day, another left-wing violent transgender attack on a prominent Republican. Thankfully, this one didn't end in the taking of JD Vance's life, although it could have, as a radicalized, sociopathic, mentally ill left-wing transgender smashed the home of JD Vance with a hammer, breaking into the home itself, where this individual could have shot bullets into the house, could have had access to JD's kids or his wife if he were home. Thank God he wasn't. Nonetheless, where the hell was the Secret Service? You can just walk up to JD Vance's home and smash it with a hammer. And now we're learning, of course, that the suspect is transgender, daughter of wealthy surgeon, Democrat super donor, lived an ultra-privileged life, and is an NPR listener. What more do you need to know? The hammer-wielding suspect accused of smashing 4 windows at JD Vance's home is a transgender woman who enjoys a luxurious upbringing filled with privilege. William DeFore, 26, is charged early Monday with 1 count each of obstructing official business, criminal damaging, endangering, criminal trespass, vandalism, overnight break-in at Vance's Cincinnati residence. DeFore, who is understood to have gone by Davis while attending an elite $27,000 per year Catholic high school, wow, appears to have transitioned to female and now goes by the name Julia. The Cincinnati native grew up in the affluent Hyde Park neighborhood in a $1 million home, surgeon father, pediatrician mother. Don't let your kids be raised by the school system. Do you understand? Like, listen, do you understand? Show up for your kids. Nobody wants this for their children. You don't want your children to be facing, I don't know, this has got to be, I mean, you attacked JD Vance's house. This has got to be decades maybe in prison. And by the way, this is a series of behavior, so it'll probably lend to a higher sentencing. Because DeFore is, did criminal vandalism, has criminal vandalism charges previously. William is a pediatric urologist at Cincinnati Children's Hospital. The wife is a general practitioner in a care facility in Kentucky. The DeFore family appears close, having just last year paid visits to their youngest children at universities. Raise your kids, man. Raise your kids. So these are like career people. Now their kid will be locked away for a long, long time, and the family name is ruined. You may lose, you're just beginning to figure out what kind of losses the family is going to have. Their name is plastered everywhere. Who wants to be treated by these people? If your kid is such a nut case, well, why would you want to be treated by them? Show up for your children. It's not good enough to just say, oh, I was busy. I was working my dumb job. No, man, show up for your kids. It's crazy what happens when you outsource everything. And as you can see here, look at this. There you go. NPR sticker right in the background of the would-be, you have to assume, killer. Listen, if you're walking up, okay, what are you, so if you're walking up, let me take a step back. Cincinnati, right on the border of Kentucky, senator from Kentucky is Rand Paul, and he was attacked with a hammer and nearly died. That's the thing that happened. He was attacked by his psychotic left-wing neighbor, and nearly died with a hammer. He's also an attack on Nancy Pelosi's husband with a hammer, right? You remember this? This was caught, he was bludgeoned with a hammer. He could have died. So if you're going up to Vice President Vance's house and smashing it and breaking into it with a hammer, you have to assume the worst. You have to assume that you are intending to kill. You are intending to do horrible damage. He has little kids. Hit him with a hammer. That's what you have to assume. So there you go. Here's the left-wing sociopath. The accused home attacker does not appear to have graduated from a 4-year university. DeFore, then known as Davis, graduated in 2018, was a national AP scholar, was active in the school's drama department, red flag, and then played the piano. Okay, and there's the parents, seemingly like normal-looking parents, right? But you let your kids go, dude. You let your kids go. Nice house, grew up in, perfectly nice-looking home, right? Nice neighborhood. The suspect appears to have created a Facebook page reflecting the new identity as a transgender woman, Julia DeFore, last month. Oh, so it only took a month, okay, to radicalize into violence. Look at this. Now family ruined. Look at this. Show up for your children. Jeez. a life of privilege. They go hopping around. These like elite egalitarian libs go bopping around the world. And now look, there you go. Life destroyed. Family name destroyed. Show up for your children. Jeez. And then, of course, you can see here the contributions of the family. Here are contributions, pretty sizable contributions. $2,000 here, $2,000, $2,000, $3,000. Kamala Harris for president, Kamala Harris for president, Kamala Harris Victory Fund. And these are maxing out. Maxing out. Kamala, Kamala, Kamala. Act Blue, Act Blue. So big-time Democrat family. Both parents donated $11,000 to Kamala Harris. They also donated to Joe Biden, and there it is. Oh, wow. Is it a trend? Yes, it is a big-time trend. In fact, it is the single transgenderism, transgender violence by numbers in the population in America is the single most violent group of people in America. That is without a doubt absolutely true. Here's the data actually to prove that. By numbers, transgenderism is in fact the single most violence leading to death is the single most dangerous and violent group of people in America. Here are some of the other lists here. Thomas Crooks used they, them pronouns. This would be Trump's would-be assassin, Charlie Kirk's assassin, transgender boyfriend, Annunciation Church Catholic shooter, trans, Nashville shooter, trans, Lakewood Church shooter, trans, Colorado Springs shooter, trans, Denver shooter, trans, Aberdeen shooter, trans, Iowa High School shooter, trans. You know, at what point do you just need to like take some pretty severe actions here? Breaking JD Vance, home attacker identified as transgender. Listen, man, don't mess with God's design, right? Don't mess with God's design. God created them. It's first book of Genesis, male and female. God has created them, male and female. Surprise, surprise. The JD Vance assailant was armed with a gun, was a transgender. Take these threats seriously. Armed with a gun. I'm sorry that I've missed this. Goodness gracious, did I miss this in the report? There you go, identified as transgender. Sentenced to treatment for mental health facility, 2 years in addition to paying $5,000 restitution. Now it'll be a lot worse, right? There you go. You can see all of the likes. Too many Benny. I don't know. No relation. Okay, so not sure what that is. Arrested by Secret Service, vandalizing a Secret Service car in the driveway of Vance's Ohio home, smashing multiple windows with a hammer, charged with obstructing. Crazy. JD Vance's response to this. Like, thanks for responding quickly. We weren't home, but some crazy person. Not just a crazy person, man. We know what happened here. Breaking up JD Vance's home with a hammer. Democrat donor. There you go. And the evidence is crystal clear. Mentally unstable, detached from reality, on drugs, convicted, and convinced by Democrat that the world is trying to genocide them. There you go. There's your recipe. And we've seen it, and there are children dead. There are children dead because of this ideology in Minneapolis, Minnesota. Thank God that nothing happened here. Pray for those who work in the Trump administration. They are under constant attack. And one of them, who we know very well, Tricia McLaughlin, we talked about recently the psychotic, skyrocketing left-wing attacks. And she multiple people are in jail for trying to kill her. It's crazy. Like, half the guests on the show have active death threats against them, federal prosecution for people trying to kill them, myself included. Here's Tricia McLaughlin. Yeah. So it's becoming quite obvious that there is a massive trend here. We actually we just have handy data printed out here about left-wing violence versus what is considered right-wing violence, if properly adjudicated and classified, and there really isn't any comparison. So given the fact that you are in the Department of Homeland Security, at what point or what must happen for our homeland to be secure against left-wing extremist terroristic violence?
Benny, it's a good question. And what I do fear for the public, for the American public, is that people are becoming numb to this violence. How was it just over a year ago that we saw a former president and a top presidential candidate be shot? And this is still going on. Charlie, just a week ago, 2 weeks ago almost, I guess 2 weeks to the day. And this is just, what's next? What can you imagine, Benny, knowing your words directly contribute to violence, contribute to bloodshed, and continuing to say them? When do you people look in the mirror and say, enough's enough? I'm not going to just be saying off the wall things for fundraising dollars or for viral clicks or to get the next MSNBC hit, that there's something more to humanity than this.